having a good day. What's today? Saturday? Happy Saturday. I don't know about you, but I have a full-time job and weekends are wonderful. They're just wonderful. Um, and this is usually when I get to kind of crank out all of my lovely ideas. So forgive me. I should have put my gloves on first. But like I said, I was mixing resin already, and the struggle is real trying to put gloves back on after you've taken them off. Here we go. So, yes. Um, what are we doing today? Let's see. So, resin is warming. We're using medium viscosity today because it's a little bit colder in my room. And my husband came up with this idea. He said, neon pink and black. And so I said, how many? He said, just do one. Do one of the thicker coasters. I said, okay. My thicker coasters come out like this. And a little bit, if I had to measure, they're probably half an inch. So we're going to do one of those. What I like is you can see, you see the suspension on the sides. This one that we're getting ready to do, we're not going to see that because we're going to use black on the outside, pink on the inside. Hopefully we'll get some really pretty striations. And hopefully the reason I'm using medium viscosity is, so let me do a comparison. So this is one that was done with regular armor art. And so the bottom looks the same way. Let me show you. There's the bottom. And here's the top. So in the regular, what am I saying? Artist resin by Counterculture DIY. This one right here, which is very well loved. I love it. And I don't have many of it left. Regular artist resin. My colorants suspend a little bit more. So I'm able to get these, I don't know if you can see, but they suspend and they look more 3D. Not that medium viscosity or thin viscosity don't look 3D. But what I'm going for this time is I'm going for a more pigmented look. And what happens for me when I add more pigment, the type of pigments that I use, they have a tendency of sinking. And so this is the effect, and it's a really cool effect in medium viscosity, especially on the bottom where they sink rather than the suspension, which is really, really cool. And on this one, the top will look like the other one, which is really great. But if you flip it over, that's what the bottom looks like. Both really, really cool effects. So what I'm going to try is I'm going to do ones like this. And so how I do this is I pour some clear first, and then I pour the colorant in, and then they sink a heavier colorant. So more of the armor arts. Armor arts are a little bit heavier. I'm trying a new one as well. So we're going to do about 4 coasters here. I'm trying a new one, Mad Micas. I primarily use this for soap, but you can use it for resin because of the heat tolerance to it. So that's what we're going for. And like I said, we're going to use hot pink, 2 different hot pinks. The armor art I get from Counterculture DIY. Mad Micas actually came in a lovely soap box from the Royalty Soaps with her soap frosting. I love her. She is so funny. I watch her all the time. Love it. So I'm really curious to see how this works in resin. So this will be an experiment. We'll see how it goes. The black I'm going to use is Ebony Dispersion color from Counterculture DIY. It's very pigmented. We're only going to use like 1 or 2 drops. Um, the neon I haven't used too much, but we'll see. We'll see. So, got quite a few cups here, so we're just going to get to mixing here. And I'm going to set aside a good amount of clear as well. So what I do, because of the medium viscosity, I have this unique thing. When it's colder in my room, if I mix and put it straight into the coaster, it has this unique effect of looking like old school stained glass, which is really, really cool. It's more like, gosh, how do I say? It's more like ice cubes that are in the freezer. You know how they're clear, but they've got this like matte looking effect to it, but they're shiny, if that makes sense. So to me, it really does look like old school stained glass, where the glass is shiny on the outside, the top layer is nice and shiny, but you can see little striations through it. And so that's an effect that I'm getting if I use that, mix it, and pour straight into the coaster. And so what I do is I mix it, heat it up, mix it again, and heat it up again, and that seems to, it's almost like it doesn't mix well enough, even though I'm mixing for like 3 minutes, 4 minutes. And so that's the effect that I get. So we're going to pour off a good number of this into, let's see, we need that pink, this pink, the black. We're not going to use a lot of black. I'm going to go in with a lot. Here we go. And then this rest of this is going back in front of the heater on like medium heat. It's about a good foot away from the heater, but I still want to have it there. And let's see here. I forgot my spoons. So all of these, oddly enough, when I ordered these, they're just like condiment containers of Amazon. They came with little spoons. So apparently you're supposed to put ice cream in them. And each ice cream, I have no idea. They're not that big. They're like literally the ones. It reminds me of like the Japanese restaurants when you put like your yum yum sauce in there. See, they're not that big. So why they sent spoons, I have no idea. But I'm grateful they did. So I'm going to set these over here and kind of work kind of close quickly. So let's see. We're going to start with 2. I can always add more. Now, the amount that I have in there, I'm going to do 4. I lied. We're doing 5. Let's see how this comes out. Ooh, ooh, oh. No, that's pink. Oh yeah, that's neon. I can still see that it's a bit translucent. But that's okay. That's okay. It's fine with me. Alright, there's that one. less is more, Sarah. Less is more. Like I said, this is more of a magenta mica powder. Usually I add my resin to my mica. I didn't do that this time. So you can see it's making a mess. Making a big mess. So actually it's muted a lot in the resin. So I'm not sure if I like it as much. Maybe you can't use this in resin. Or I should have mixed it in a smaller amount. You see how clumpy that is? I should have mixed it in a smaller amount. That's what I should have done. Because it does say you can use it in resin. So I don't know. I'm not happy with the clumps. I'm not happy with the clumps. So when I use it in soap, I put it into some oil first on its own before you mix it in with the rest. And I'm thinking this might have been one of the better cases where you mix it into a little bit of your part A first, or part B on its own, and then mix the resin together. That may have come out better. Yeah, I'm having to do a lot of stirring here, and it's not very pigmented. I mean, it's not as, don't get me wrong, it's still hot pink. It's not as hot pink as this one, but it is thicker because it's a mica. So let's see. I'm actually going to add, very pretty. It's still pretty, but maybe not the best use case, or maybe I just didn't do it right. So, like I said, experiments. We are experimenting today. So, I am going to add some more of this armor art to the first one, and just a little tad to the second one, actually. Let's see if we can see how that goes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's gonna look cool. Okay, okay. It's more of a raspberry hot pink. If that makes sense. Alright, time for black. And I'm gonna pull that while I shake. While I shake, I'm pulling the clear resin off the heat. And then I'm putting it into a smaller, actually, we're going to go ahead and fill one of these buddies up here. Which one do I want? I want this one, or this one, this one. Okay, we're going to fill one of these Jessies up here, as my husband would say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's my very scientific measurement there. I do want it to cover the whole bottom of the coaster. Now, someone mentioned to me if I spray alcohol into it first, that I won't get as many bubbles. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that over here away with a little spray bottle with a little bit of alcohol. I'm curious. Okay, got a little bit of, oh, look at all that. I don't know how that'll work. That may have been too much. Whew. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm not putting any heat on these after I'm done, so that may help. I'm actually going to let that air out and dry just a little bit. I think I put way too much in there. But let's go ahead and mix our black. We do a smaller one here. I wish I had a nozzle like these. These are fantastic. Once I figured out how to open them. No, this does not come off all the way. It just turns. Took me a while. Well, right now I'm just kind of pouring out. I don't have it for all my colors. I have too many colors. Right now I'm just going to tilt and hope for the best. So 1, 2, 3. Just 3 dots of the black, and I'll show you how dark this gets. And it's the black dispersion color. They do get really thick really fast, so it's going to be one of the first ones I pour. So it's really no great way to do this. I'm out of my paper cups, but so I'm just going to go like this and just go all the way around, and where it needs more, just going to add a little bit more. I'm hoarse. I'm sorry. It is pollen season here. I'm in North Carolina. And I always get a sore throat in pollen season. It's terrible. Okay, I'm filling up the one that we did the alcohol ink. So that one's going to be right here. We're going to do the exact same thing. Once I make sure it goes around all the way. And I'm curious to see with the alcohol on the bottom, because it's still wet, what kind of effects it'll do, if it'll do different cells or things like that. So, in my other coasters that I do, I always put alcohol ink, usually with my armor art, to get the striation cells and things like that. So like the beach waves, I always put alcohol ink in with the armor art, and it makes really pretty cells. So I'm curious, will it do it with just alcohol on the bottom? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Now this one, I'm just going to put the black right in there with no clear already in there. So this one's going to get a lot more black than the other ones. And so this one will have more of the effect. I anticipate the one where there's no clear, it'll have more of the effect of the striations just in how we're going to do it. So I'll show you here. Alright, we're pretty much done on the black. So now the neon, let's see here. I'm just gonna go, yeah, we're gonna do circles. Circles like this. That'd be really cool. I'm gonna go around one more time over here and do that. And then I am going to put a line, a solid line around here, the inner circle, and then a solid line around the outside. get some more of that color in there. And so you might be asking why I do the circles and then the solid lines. That's how you get this effect right here. I'm hoping it's still going to do that without the alcohol, but that's how you get this effect, this cloud-like cell effect. So on this one, I'm just going to go with a solid line. To have a little bit of a different effect, and this will have more of the line striations, I'm hoping. Like I said, I haven't used this armor art before. I want to leave a good amount in the center for my clear to come in and push it all out. It's when you add the clear and push it out is when you get the striations, when it hits the wall and comes back in towards the center of the coaster, which is why I also don't mind those little dots on the outside. So now the mica powder I'm going to do in the alcohol one. We're going to do something a little bit different. Sort of like the flower effect. I'm looking for more beachy waves type thing. We'll see how this comes out. I'm not sure if you can see what I'm doing here. I went with the flower effect first. And now I'm just going in and making curved lines around. And that's a little bit of a heavier pigment, so we'll see how that goes. We're looking pretty good. So now this is closed up a little bit. Let me add in the clear and really push that out. See how that does. This clear is getting pretty hot, so I want to get it in here. I'm going to do a good amount of clear in here until I see the clear push out to just about an inch away from the outside. Then I pretty much do the same. This one I'm going in, small puddle clear. And then we're gonna make some more of a different color. See how that kind of looks like a hurricane? I'm liking that effect. Actually, that's not even, so let's put that over there a little bit. This one, I'm actually really liking the mica more than the armor art. I didn't think that was going to be the case. Right now, I like the mica more than the armor art. So I'm going to add more mica to this one right here, because it looked like it spread out. I put too much clear in and it spread out a little more than I want. So we're just gonna drizzle it in circles and make a fun little design here. Reminds me of like those little doodly design things as a kid, where it spins around in circles. You put a pen in it and spins around and makes all these circles. that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm gonna leave that alone. I wanna see what it does. I wanna see what it does. You know what it looks like. I'm gonna make up some more black and add some more black to the outside. I know black has a tendency of taking over, but I kind of want it to. Oops. Way too much black. Way too much black in this one. But let's see what it does. Yeah, that's really thick. Alright. Let's add some more clear in there. So this is about 25 minutes after I initially mixed. And I added heat to it, so that it's getting really hot. It's getting pretty hot, and it's definitely time to just let it sit. But let's see if we can get a little bit more out of it. Let's push the limits here. This might be a mistake. I'm going in and just putting little lines of black. I don't know. I mean, let's see what it does. Let's see what it does. It's thicker. It's definitely a lot thicker. It's more of the molasses when you pour out part A. That molasses type of feel. But let's go a little grungy on this one. You know, let's just try it. You know, you never know till you try. So. Get some crazy looking things in there. Should I do anything to this one? I said I was gonna leave that one alone. Should I do anything to this one? No? Let's leave that alone. Let's see what that does. But since this is nice and thick, let's go ahead and make some hot pink and black. What do you call it? Marble. We're going to do hot pink and black marble right here. Yes, it's just as easy as adding lines in here. You're going to make a mess. I have a, oh, what's the word? Words are hard. Words Are Hard, as Evan and Caitlin say. If you don't watch them, please do. They're such an adorable couple. Silicone. This is silicone, this green matte thing. Why couldn't I think of that? I have no idea. So once it gets nice and thick, I'll just take a spare mold here. This is a coaster mold. And just, you know, make lines. Have fun. And then I'm going to pour the rest of my clear in there. Just sort of break it up a little bit. But we know I always make too much. Always. Always. Why? I know what I did. I made enough for 4 coasters. That's exactly what I did. And I got the 4th one sitting over there. I didn't think I was going to make all 4 today. Because this was just going to be an experiment, but I had it in my brain. I was going to do 4. See, it's getting really thick now. Really, oh, like tar thick. I want to get this where it starts smoking and then cover it up. Do I want the space? Let's see. No. There's enough of this to fill in that space, actually. Let's see if we can stretch that into there. It's stringy. It's thick. Come on, baby. There we go. can fill it in with the clear, but the clear looks a little thick. We'll try it. Nope, it's globby. See that glob? She's globby. I don't know if you can see that or not. That is a sign we have waited too long. She is tarry, she's globby. But we can probably get enough out of here. That's liquid still. Yep. Another big glob. I know. Bear with me. I'm actually going to stick this outside when it gets like this. I don't like having it inside. In cups. Especially when it gets that hot. Yeah, that is gone. She's a goner. And that is because I had too much, and like you see, this is so, I mean, it's thick, but it's not glob, a solid glob like that. And that's because I had it in, I had that too much in there while it was getting hot, and that's the part that, that was in front of the heater the longest. So I'm not surprised that it did that. I'm very not surprised. So, but look how our little friend up here is looking. So that looks fun. This one's not really doing much, and this one looks interesting. So, yeah, maybe in about an hour I'll come back and see what they look like, and if they need a top coat, I'll probably do it in about 4 to 6 hours, depending on what they look like, how they feel, and things like that. So, but it is time for me to put this globby girl outside. Let me go put her outside before we have a disaster. So, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.